Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host tonight in this lovely podcast of the Cream of the Crops. I am Onyx. I am joined by our two lovely compadres in the wrestling ring. We have our boy Fake, and we have our bearded brother Olas. How are you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
I'm doing great.
This episode is officially being recorded on August 6th. We are post SummerSlam, gentlemen. I'm assuming, I know we have all watched it, and we all have our opinions of how that pay-per-view went. So we'll keep it simple and start this way, and we'll just go triangle in the way that I see it. I'll go last. What best match in your opinion from the night? Oh,
All right.
sorry, whoever.
yeah.
I don't care.
I guess I'll start off. Best match for me has to be. It's gonna be a weird.
And you're gonna explain it too. So just by the way, like, just be ready to back up.
We have a great Walter and Drew match. It's a great match, but I have to give it to the women for their triple threat only because of its ending.
We're gonna fight on this all night because
No.
out of all the things
Had
you
it-
could,
Yeah, no. All things I can pick. Giving Bianca the Super Cena-esque comeback of the injury spot after you've noted that she was selling both her knees randomly.
oh yeah.
Switching.
If you didn't notice that, go back and rewatch SummerSlam. They, in the moment, she is holding her left knee, and Michael Cole makes a point to note that she has injured that knee. She hits that fucking still and is holding the other knee.
Yeah.
And then goes back to that left knee when she's hobbling out.
Yep. But it's all the suit because it's been a constant complaint with Bianca Belair as a face. She's been given this Super Cena as mystique where she just wins. So to have her win by a simple roll up, it's amazing just to get cashed in on, making her now the longest and shortest women's champion of the
Lord.
modern era.
I
Giving her
still-
another thing to just add to the list of accomplishments of Bianca Belair. That's what makes that's the match that kept my interest the longest.
Bro, the fact that she won with a fucking Steve Austin to Owen Hart roll up was like the fucking
No, she won while still in the
figure
eight.
four. Yeah, well,
Like
the
her
eight.
legs were still locked in with Charlotte.
Right.
Well, that's
With,
what
like-
Porto and I were watching this, and I'm going, there's no shot this is how this ends, right? They're not just gonna do like all the
Sure
ways we could have
fucking-
ended this match. This is the roll up is what we're choosing to go for on a pay-per-view.
And I'm laughing like a fucking hyena.
Like, you can't be like that's a Monday Night Raw, Friday SmackDown, not a pay-per-view. Give me a better ending. Like, because I told him, because they do the Charlotte gets the double pin where Asuka tries to choke Bianca out, and she does that would have been fantastic. In that, like,
Yep.
that, have Charlotte do it and then have Bailey and them blindside her and then cash in. Or have Asuka blindside her, hit her with the misc, have them come in and cash in. So many other ways that I think could have been a better way to do that. But you know damn well they're not going to let somebody cash in on Charlotte. I think that was the big thing.
But she's already been cashed in on
Has she
Yeah.
win?
twice.
Carmella
Did
Carmella and
was one.
Carmella was the first as SmackDown Women's Champion. Nikki AHS was the second one.
Oh
the
God, that's
Raw
right.
one.
I
That
forgot
is
about
how
the
she
second
did.
one. Yeah.
It's been cashed in twice. But what made it funny is because I believe what makes this one the match of the night, it was the most unpredictable ending out of the whole card.
Yeah, because they didn't know what they were doing.
But no, because I feel like this leads into something. You
Yeah.
had the Street Profits siding with Bobby Lashley and turning heel officially on Friday night.
Which was a
Uh,
long time coming. That
yeah,
needed to happen a while ago.
So, more than likely, it's already been noted that Montez Ford and Bianca Belair are married and
Yeah.
they have worked together. So, to have this new version of the Hurt Business have a female combatant with them, like Bianca,
Good Judgment Day rival.
she's been a face this entire time. She hasn't actually worked as a heel on the main roster, so that gives her more of a precedent to turn heel on everybody because she was champ. Her whole thing was she wasn't given a rematch. Charlotte came up, demanded her a title shot. She got it. Bianca had to jump through hoops to get entered into the match, just for her to win it and then immediately get cashed in on. That just puts everything on top of Bianca for her to go, screw it. If everybody's doing this the cheap way, why not me?
No, I
Well,
mean
and
that's yeah.
they've been teasing a soft turn since she lost.
Yep. So that gives the
Uh,
full, that would make it for the full turn.
I still
and
pray.
they've
Asuka
been
stays.
talking about it for there's been like internal discussions and like rumors and stuff about them wanting to turn all three of them heel for like months. I mean,
Yeah.
like 4, 5, 6 months ago, they were like internal discussions about doing it. And I was kind of curious, and then like kind of pairing them together. So like what you were saying with the kind of rekindled Hurt Business kind of thing with them, I think that would be a fantastic pairing to kind of get that rolling.
And you already have a team to go against, ready and willing. You have the OC.
Yep.
My God, I've loved how they've rebuilt them. This
So
is
you have
the OC
a
is what they should have been the
match.
first time.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better than their first booking. I think since they've come back, I like the dynamic better than the first time they introduced them. Because, you know, I mean, they jobbed out and shit like 3 months in.
They were, I believe they were tag champions at one point after returning.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're correct.
Felt like they were Raw tag team champions for a little bit.
Were they ever champs while AJ was champ? Did they have a triple title going on there?
I believe no.
Okay.
Because at most, AJ was alongside them when the closest that would be was US champion.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, because it was a while before he got.
Because he was US champion. That was the whole.
He did the Cena route. He went US and then went into.
No, I believe his first title was actually WWE.
Yes.
Was it?
Like he won WWE first,
Oh, okay.
I'm
and
pretty
then
sure.
became US, and then Intercontinental.
Gotcha.
I believe he was also tag team champion at one point with Omos.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah, I think he was. Oh, gross.
He was.
That guy.
Like,
All right. Olas, what you got? There's so much good that you could pick from, right?
yeah, great show.
It comes down to it's either Ronda and Shane. No, it's
I'm full. We're about to end this right now.
It's a toss up for me between Gunther and Drew or Seth and Finn. I think I do think that Gunther and Sheamus had a much better match, like one on
You
one.
mean Drew?
See,
Never mind.
No, Gunther and Sheamus. At,
he was comparing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. They had a much better one on one at Clash at the Castle, right? That was the name of it. The one that was in
yes.
Wales. So you were kind of hoping that they would have like a similar thing. It was a really good match, but I do think I kind of lean more towards Seth and Finn. A lot of like story within the story. You know, the whole 7 years ago with the injury and like that whole thing, and Seth coming out with the vest from that SummerSlam was a cool little. I do enjoy the way Seth does.
I was wondering if that was the same. When I saw that, I was wondering if that was the same or stylistic of what it was.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to entrances, Seth does do attire well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed the games that he plays when he was in the Shield outfit against Roman, when he was in the polka dots against Cody. Like that kind of shit is always pretty cool, and he does always have like really good. Nothing tops his White Ranger from 2015.
Yeah,
I would say the Mysterio outfit.
That was a good one too. His Thanos one was pretty good for. Was it WrestleMania? That he wore the Thanos one, or was that?
He's just officially become the Rey Mysterio of like pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think that was actually WrestleMania when he faced Barack for the Universal.
So he always has that. Finn doing the power bomb into the guardrail was really good. nice little callback, and he was working the arm the whole time, and like, so the story of it was really good. And I mean, both of those guys are just really good to watch. They're two of my favorites to watch in general. So getting them together now, I would have liked Finn to win because he's in so many championship matches where he just never wins.
Yeah.
So it's kind of shitty, but I do like that they kind of did the whole like miscommunication between him and Damien, and doing that. And then, I mean, obviously the meme of Damien just kind of staring like a disappointed dad at the end of the match was hilarious.
Didn't somebody tweet that? Was it Damien tweet that out? I thought I saw
Finn.
some. Oh, was it Finn?
And
Like what a fucking just guy, man. Just sit there and tweet that disappointment look out. No, I mean it was a good match.
Yeah.
My thing with it, man, is Judgment Day has the possibility to be a really solid faction that I feel like they're already trying to break it up after only being around for, I mean, what, a year and a half?
Yeah, kinda.
I mean, I'm talking no Edge Judgment Day.
Yeah, no, I know
so
what you mean.
It's been just over a year then.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think having Finn lose makes the most sense for them to stay together,
Yes.
because to have Finn win, that means you have your world champ. It would be the first time you had a world champion and Mr. Money in the Bank in the same faction,
Yeah.
because you've always had like the Royal Rumble winner.
Well, because
But
now
with
the Money in the Bank, you can cash it in on anybody, like
Exactly.
any title.
Wow.
Let's not
Yeah.
forget. Let's forget about Austin Theory doing that bullshit. But
They
if you
painted
had,
him in a terrible spot though. Like you're
But he
gonna
was
have him
put-
win and he couldn't.
he was put in a terrible.
It's
No,
terrible.
no, he is. But you put him in a terrible spot because you had the
Right.
Roman story going on.
Like
And
he's
you
not he's not interrupting that. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wasn't getting.
Exactly. So it was like the Money in the Bank was pointless in that era, in that
Right.
time period. But having Finn win would mean you have that dissension automatically just waiting to happen.
Yeah.
With Seth retaining, you can still play off of Finn's still pissed, but he will still help out Damien win. And you
Right.
might have Finn turn on the group eventually,
Yeah.
targeting Damien first. That'll be like the first opponent as Damien wins. There'll be another fucking Balor loss, but at least that builds up Damien Priest as an actual credible champion coming out of it.
I still worry this group breaks up. What the hell they're gonna do with Dom?
Dom and Rhea stay together for a while.
Even
Yeah.
you think even at No Judgment Day, you still think
It
gotta
has
be.
to. It
It
has to.
that
you
that
know
duo-
what? I didn't
that
like it
duo
at
just
first.
works.
I'm kind of sold on it because I was not about it at first. I was like, this kid is annoying. Like, this is awful.
Best
He's
heel
a
in the business.
damn good heel, man. Like, he sucks in the ring,
second
but
best heel.
I mean, because it's kind of the thing. Like, I don't like Miz in the ring, but he's a damn good heel.
Yeah, he
You
has a
know?
punchable.
I will say
Dominic has a
Dom,
very punchable face.
Dom does have a good frog splash.
Yeah, it's very Eddie Guerrero-ish. Like it doesn't look a lot like how Ray does his. It looks to me like a more like younger Eddie Guerrero frog splash, which I guess is kind of his whole gimmick he's going for now. It looks like it's
Well,
the
there
way
was
he
a,
like looks, you know.
he is doing the whole like Eddie's his dad thing. He did like a questionnaire thing, and it was like, are you ever going to rekindle your relationship with your dad? And he was talking about something, and he's like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of hard because he passed away all those years ago, and I
God
miss
damn.
him. And I
That's just so
I
funny.
miss him, and like referenced Eddie, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Like even in just like an off the cuff like questionnaire, he kept that character going and just went, yep, we're doing
See,
it.
it's a bit dedication. I love that. That's amazing.
I feel like the whole bit is them doing the Eddie and China dynamic.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I didn't even
That's
think
all this.
about that.
That's all this
Yep.
is. It's
oh
Eddie
my
and China.
God, it
Well, that's
is.
why she keeps calling him her Latino heat.
Yeah,
For the-
it's a
yeah.
reference to that.
Oh, I hate that I didn't even think about that. About it that being such a god, what a callback too. Like that's just a perfect.
Because that's why his hair is long like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's the
Shit.
same style that Eddie
He
had.
has the Eddie hair, yeah. That and you can't break those two up. No matter what happens between the rest of the group, just that interactions that they had on NXT this week was fucking amazing.
Buddy is gonna fucking murder somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
No, because it's funny because it bleeds over into AEW
Uh-huh.
with Buddy
Yeah.
Matthews being Rhea's actual
With the
boyfriend?
Acclaimed doing the
Yeah.
fucking yeah.
like he didn't even let him get that rap out. Buddy just
Well,
ran
because he
into
did it the
rap
one
and just,
time, and then yeah, that second time he
You only
did-
get it once.
Yeah, nah, we're like,
Fucking-
nope. I've heard enough from the internet.
God,
Next person
man.
to say her name is getting their
But,
ass beat.
The
no,
Will
but
Smith
the
treatment.
Yeah, basically.
those interactions that they had with Dragon Lee and then Axiom in the backstage.
Who are you? Or do you know who I am? Batman?
Power Ranger?
But she did the like Batman, and I was fucking dying. Like I popped for it, and then it's Dom going, "Didn't we just talk to this guy?" And he's like, "That was Dragon Lee," and I don't remember what he said. And she goes, "A Power Ranger," and I was fucking dying. Like you have to keep that going.
Oh god,
But
no,
yeah,
I'm
even if
about
the
it.
group breaks up, I'm still saying Dom and Rhea stay together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah, no, especially
I-
if they're doing like the China thing, you could still get
think-
that to work.
I think Damien stays with them regardless.
I don't
No,
know,
they're
man.
kicking. I got them kicking Finn out.
Yes.
Then they bring back JD McDonough
Uh-huh.
and have them tag team
Yeah,
because they already planted seeds of Finn talking to him,
yeah,
Yes.
that's
and
true.
So-
given the fact that he already coached, like JD McDonough is a student of Finn Balor.
That's what I'm
outside
saying.
of
Yeah,
wrestling.
when he won.
So it's like it works for them to be a tag team or them start their own group. Which
I
speaking of
thought they
teaching
were gonna
people,
have him join Judgment Day, but I guess they
that I feel like that was a plan, but they kind of just dropped it. But speaking of that, I wish they would have played into with Seth and Finn the fact that Becky Lynch was trained by Finn Balor. Like Seth made a post about it saying, "Hey, if it wasn't for Finn, I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have had a family today."
Yeah.
I wish they would have played into that more, making it more personal than it already is. Because the whole 7 year thing is like it's nice, but if you think about it, they feuded multiple times.
Yeah,
like
saying
the
something like
IC,
that.
they had a WrestleMania match for the IC belt, but I know Miz was champion, but you had a big stage with Finn and Seth in the same match.
Right.
Where
and that was never
Finn-
discussed.
No,
and then-
Seth won that time.
Did he?
Yes, Seth was IC champion
Yeah,
because he turned
yeah.
into he was like the workhorse champion for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're confusing that with Finn Balor winning the IC belt, I think, a year later because he
Against
beat
Lashley.
Yep as the Demon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, man.
With because he did that fucking power bomb into the coup de grace. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think for me, and all else, you're gonna laugh at this because I think you know what my favorite match is just because you know who I'm such a huge fucking fan of. I'm on the LA Knight train, and I'm willing to go
Yeah.
wherever it goes, whatever station it ends me at. I'm riding all the way. So it's as pointless as that battle royale was.
sponsored by Slim Jim.
It's good to not see him job out at a pay-per-view. Because that guy needs to have a belt on him. I don't care what it is. It could be Rhea's belt at this point, and I'd be happy with it. They got to do something with him. Come on,
Yeah.
the amount of pop this guy, he's getting more pop than anything Reigns is getting right now.
I have a feeling they're just again it's a situation of they're kind of stuck in limbo with they have so many big things like what are you gonna have them feud for
The
you can
US
have 'em-
title.
yeah, you have them feud for the US title. The problem I always run into is they book the chase better than the reign,
Yeah,
right? Always. It's the same thing every time. So it's like, oh my god, I can't wait for this person to win the title, and then they win the title, and 2 months in, they're like, oh, this is a boring reign, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't want that to happen to him either. Where it's like, oh my god, he finally got the title, and then they did fuck all with it. And
Yeah,
then-
but here's the thing is, I think he's a big help with that because it's similar to Miz, where you give Miz a title and he will absolutely run with it with no matter who you put him up against.
yeah,
Because he does all the talking pretty much. Where in my mind, I think an LA Knight could cut a promo on every single one of these guys, God forbid give him what is it? The Gable Stevenson or whatever. God forbid give him that. Oh God, that would be just murder.
Yeah.
You know, but because what was it? Kevin Nash came out and was like, he's just a diet Rock and Stone Cold. I go, yeah, because we need more of that. There's too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about athletes and all that stuff, but man, none of these guys can cut a promo. I mean, you got the best example. You got Shelton Benjamin, who is guys the epitome of an athlete, still can't cut a promo worth crap. Yeah,
Ricochet.
I mean, he's getting better, but yeah, in that same belt where it's this super athletic high flyer can't talk on the mic. So I mean, it's cool, but he's going to continue to job out to people like Logan Paul. But no, I thought the Battle Royale, as pointless as it was, showed a lot of good individuality. Because you had LA Knight get his pop. I thought AJ did pretty well for what, this is this the first pay-per-view he's been since the draft? Or was he in the last pay-per-view? I haven't kept up with AJ as much.
AJ is now stuck in this pointless feud with fucking Karrion Kross of all people.
God, can we release him already, please? I don't care about Karrion Kross.
No. His career was screwed the moment he was in NXT with Adam Cole. That promo has permanently scarred his career. I don't care what anyone says. Because it really did break down what Karrion Kross is in WWE. He's a nice entrance. He has a nice look. Scarlett is a beautiful woman by his arm. But in the ring, fuck it all.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's okay in the ring. Mid-ass promos.
I always love seeing Omos get just trashed. Love it every time. They need to learn the lesson with that guy at some point.
Can we talk about how that was the only actual return?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Omos
MVP
does do good. He does do good for YouTube views. Like if you look at their analytics for YouTube,
I'm sure he
does do well. I don't know why people love watching YouTube videos with Omos,
because he's gonna hurt somebody. Like 90% of the time you watch him in the ring with somebody, he's it's this threat of he actually might kill this guy because he just it's the same thing with Ryback. He does the same crap Ryback used to do where he throws these guys and hopes for the best.
He's more like Kali.
Well, I mean, still, but my point being, it was less of the size, but more of the danger.
No. I'm talking about just in ring work.
Yeah,
like wrestling style is Kali.
I mean,
he's tall and the drop, like his power slam is dangerous because he's so tall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was it? He choke slammed Gable, and I was like, man, that's almost straight neck in that choke slam. It's all he almost landed on. But he had some good moments. It wasn't terrible. I mean, Gable, I'm a big Gable fan too. I hope they do something with him. Watching him he's everything about Kurt Angle. If he was just 5 inches taller.
I would love for Gable to be the one to dethrone Walter.
Oh, that would be great.
After he breaks the record, have Gable and Walter just do a fucking class. They can.
Because I just think you let him heel turn, be a Kurt Angle heel turn.
He has to be a face for this.
I'm saying at some point, let him do, because Kurt Angle always kind of went back and forth between that kind of the face character and then the, or the cocky face character and then the a-hole heel. And I think he could do both. I see no reason that he couldn't. It's kind of like you said. I mean, Alpha Academy was a heel group kind of to begin with, and
he was heel. He was pretty much a heel. The whole shush thing is a heel.
Yeah,
was a heel bit that just got over as a face.
I thought Ciampa did pretty good. I thought he had a good showing. I hope they do some more with him because I genuinely like him.
I think his career. I think his push is kind of just stifled because I think the original plan is for a DIY / waiver union, and I think Indy's hurt, so they're waiting on her.
Gotcha.
Gargano is slowly making his return.
I thought he was didn't he already appear back on TV like a few weeks ago?
No, I think in a backstage.
Yeah, well, yeah, not in the ring, but
not in the ring.
But
I think he was wrestling on a backstage. Yeah, he was hurt.
Yeah.
So it was like damn, Ciampa comes back, he gets hurt. 'Cause I think the whole end goal was Miz and Bronson Reed versus DIY.
Yeah, bro. I said Bronson Reed is growing on me.
He's okay. He's an okay big man.
I think
Like,
he. I mean, he's kind of that Samoa Joe where he gets around pretty good for a big man. I just don't think they know what to do with people like that, unfortunately.
Triple H actually knows because he had it. Funny enough, if you bring him up with Johnny Gargano was North American champion in NXT
Yeah.
as in part of the way, and the one who defeated him was Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
It's just it'll be weird because the heel and face dynamic will be switched this time.
that's true.
Reed was face and Gargano was heel during their first run in.
I'm trying to think. I did like seeing Gable take out pretty much all of Imperium.
Just
Dude,
suplex.
the cross legs he gets on that guy, I'm like, he's gonna snap his neck. Like he's easily gonna snap this guy's neck. You know, it's turned into a Mortal Kombat scene.
So yeah, no, Walter versus Chad Gable would be a great match, and you can really heal up Walter as like the foreign heel.
Yeah, well, it's almost a Rocky and God, Drago kind of thing. Where I mean, obviously he's not Russian, but
Yeah,
you
not
know,
chopping.
both tacticians of different styles. You know that you got
You
Chad
can have
doing
him murder Otis just chopping meat.
whatever, and there's probably a reason. Whatever happened to Otis's partner? I know they did the whole
Tucker
thing.
got released.
He just got released, like because I
Yeah.
know they had him like
This
They did the Enzo Amore cast thing where he turns on him randomly, you know.
because it was
And then
for the
becomes
Money in the
irrelevant.
Bank.
Yeah, and then become irrelevant.
Because that was how Otis lost Money in the Bank. to
Yeah.
Miz. Tucker turned heel. They were split up during the brand split, and they had nothing for Tucker because Otis was the draw.
Gotcha.
So they ended up releasing him, and I believe he has never been brought back.
Have we just finished with the brand split? Is that like even?
Nope.
Because I
They-
still feel like everybody just shows up on whatever show they want to.
Not only the bigger groups.
Is that what
I
it
think
is?
the only. I think
Okay,
the
Judgment
only
Day's
one-
everywhere.
Yeah, the only one that seems out of place was Dominic being on SmackDown defending the NXT title.
Yeah.
That was the only one that felt like, oh man, what happened to the brand split?
Okay. Well, good transition here. Worst match. I'm gonna laugh if we all just end up agreeing on what the worst match was. I think there's a very obvious choice here, and I'll do first of this one. We'll kind of go back in the opposite order. It's got to be the Shayna Baszler fucking
Yep.
like it's whatever you want to call that. I've not seen such terrible choreography in fighting since like Matrix 3, and like I remember reading there was an article where I guess there was a disagreement between management and them. I go, yeah, it shows there was definitely a disagreement somewhere. But yeah, it's for one, I enjoy Ronda Rousey as everything else other than a wrestler. Ever since she's come to WWE, I've not liked much of anything that she's done. I feel bad for Roddy Piper because you know that's getting drugged down because it's what she uses. I don't really care for Shayna that much either because she's just diet Ronda Rousey to me. But I guess so I'm a little, you know, hypocritical in that, but that's the one I hated the most. I couldn't even get through it all.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I don't mind either of them. I think it definitely had the makings of something that should have been really good. I think they should have just kept it as a normal match and called it a day. Because they were obviously trying to go for like a real fight feel kind of thing, and it just didn't like you were saying, the choreography was really rough and like everything was really slow, and the strikes and the different things. It was like very much like The only thing I did laugh at was the Shayna doing the Holly Holm fucking roundhouse to Ronda at one point. That kind of made me laugh. But yeah, I don't. The right person won in the sense like there's talks of Ronda kind of disappearing for a while if she even comes
Again.
back.
Yeah, she's doing her
Um,
obligations at this point.
But Shayna in NXT was a killer. And they kind of fucked that.
Yeah.
After it was the same story with everybody. They're doing really great in NXT. They come up, they have all this momentum, and they kind of shit all over the momentum, and then it's done. So they kind of made her like not as much of a threat. I mean, she lost to a who's who of people that she shouldn't have lost to. She was teaming up with Natalia at one point, I think.
Yeah.
It was like a whole fucking mess of things, and you're like, remember this chick on NXT that was like fucking stomping people's elbows and shit, like
Just
fucking these people up, and like, I remember the one story was like she was like deep in the fucking psyche of like Dakota Kai and like just tormented the fuck out of her, and like really was like a bully of a fucking beast of a killer of a heel, and you were like, all right, this is great, and then it was like, all right, you're gonna lose in a tag match with Natalia, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
I think
So like,
her downfall started on the main roster after the Elimination Chamber, where she was built up to beat Becky, and she had basically eliminated everyone in the chamber in like quick fashion. She basically
Yes.
murdered the Raw Women's Division and just like they became jobbers.
yeah.
And then to have this terrible feud with Becky where she bit her neck and made her bleed like a vampire.
yeah.
Like, and then losing after all that build up to lose to
What, in the
Becky
game,
kind of
bro?
just fucked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
mean,
think that ruined her. And yeah, that match was just awful. I think I'm going the opposite of Olas. Should have just leaned more into the work element and just did the fight pit again. This would have been a perfect time to
That
bring
would've been
the
okay.
fight pit
just do a
back.
street fight. Go
Or
Dean
the,
Ambrose.
No,
do a street
and
fight.
NXT did the underground thing like 2-3 weeks ago. Just get rid of the ropes,
Well,
at least.
wait, what was the thing called? I'm dating myself here, but I was at the event. It was the Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart. Was it the Lions Den match?
Something like
They
that.
had like an actual like
Oh my
cage.
God.
Same thing. Fucking Riddle and Rollins had that like
No, the fight.
kind of cage.
That's the fight pit.
Yeah.
That's the fight pit.
Oh,
Where
I
they
was
take
thinking
out the
of
rope.
the.
They take out the ropes and put it in closed cage.
I was thinking of
and
that
would have
Raw
been perfect.
Underground shit, but yeah, the fight.
The Raw
pit,
Underground is just taking the ropes out, having just the ring flat.
Right.
But I guess it would be too much of a setup, like too much setup for that cage.
It would have to main event for that to be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's way too much beforehand getting it ready, and then way too much after the fact.
So it's like if they were doing that, throw it away. But I guess I think Ronda just had an obligation to do a big event. It was like I just want to put over Shayna.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
she's on her way out, puts over Shayna, and then she goes off to be a mother and do whatever she wants. Ronda Rousey has always been propped up as this great name. And it was like, honestly, she was the right person at the right time. She's overhyped in the UFC. Once she lost, we saw her true colors. She ran off to the WWE, and she wasn't the big draw that they actually wanted. And then she just got fed up with the fans because they instantly turned on her because she was pushed too heavy.
Yeah.
And she didn't actually have the work ethic of the other women. So now it's just, she's here.
No, I mean that's fair. WWE kind of chewed her up, spat her out.
It was just the crowd. She's not used to being booed. Like the way wrestling fans will just turn on you in an instant.
It's not the UFC, man, where you could still lose and people will go, hey,
Yeah, it's like, no, you suck. Boo.
Yeah. I think with the right pairing, like if she had like a Paul Heyman kind of like managerial type, if she went like full heel and just embraced that,
Just Brock
she
Lesnar
could have.
beat the crap out of everybody and just
Yeah, she could have been the female Brock, where like, okay, she's not strong on the mic, but she doesn't need to be because she'll kick the shit out of you, right? Like
Yeah.
that's Brock's whole thing. Although this version of Brock is fucking hilarious,
it's
but
amazing.
Yeah.
um,
Still don't know
you
why he feuded with Cody, but yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we'll
here
get
for
into
it.
that one. We'll get into that one.
uh, but like if they would have done that with her, once they got that initial like kind of blowback with the fans, where it was like, yeah, we don't give a shit about, or we just don't like her. Fucking play into it, but don't like have her cut the promo because clearly that's not her thing.
Yeah,
That was never her thing.
that's
Even
why
when
she was in the UFC.
right, and like very short bursts of sentences. Fine, great. You're selling a fight like in the UFC. Great. Trying to cut like a fucking even a 5 to 10 minute promo in front of a live audience. If you're like if you keep her to like backstage segments that you can like tape and fucking edit and shit, that's one thing. But they didn't do that. They threw her to the wolves, which you kind of have to. You're
Yeah.
a big name, go do the
Yeah.
shit. But um, it just didn't like they didn't handle it great. Her first run was way better, and they made her a killer and all of those things with that. I think about that Alexa Bliss match where she was just like fucking no selling everything because it was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
Yes,
get
it's
off of
Alexa
me.
Bliss.
Like, right,
Someone who's 5 foot, like the mismatch.
hey, don't
Right.
you talk shit about her. All right, leave her alone.
What, Alexa Bliss?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's gonna be a mother. She's fine.
is that why she's not on TV right now?
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm glad we all relatively agreed that universally was the crappiest out of the night. So let's flip gears. Was there anything as far as that night of like oh shit moves or something you thought was interesting, that mainly move wise, like something they pulled off really well, something they pulled off not so well? I mean, is
Um, For me, nothing. I got nothing on this one. Um, it was a basic standard night of wrestling. Nothing really too extreme. Like we have the Roman match and we have the table spot. Jimmy being helped up by that one guy.
oh god, yeah, that was this guy
chef reactions, bro.
just coming in hot for him.
I was cracking up because while we were watching it, I said to them, I was like, I think I follow that guy on TikTok. And then I saw it, like I was on TikTok this morning and he posted about it and I was like, I fucking knew it. And I took a screenshot and I sent it to my buddy and I was like, I'm so validated. I feel so,
So
validated.
validated.
Like you saw him for like a half a second, but I knew who it was. And I knew he was a wrestling fan because he's been going back and forth, like doing videos with Baron Corbin, who is apparently a fantastic cook. So that was.
I like what they're
funny
doing
to
with
see.
him right now. I'm kind of about it. I think the
The nickname's stupid, but the idea is fine.
take him, let him do his lone wolf thing again. I think that's
Now
just,
he's like the lone pirate or some
Yeah,
shit.
some
well,
Hey,
can't be perfect.
Irie
but
Sane's coming back. Pirate group.
higher group.
Yeah, there you go.
Kyrie Sane versus Brock Lesnar. Make it happen.
No, I
Still,
I agree.
still on that.
There wasn't really a big like oh shit moment. Although, so there was something that I think out of all of it that I was really a huge fan of was watching Cody put the Kimura on Brock Lesnar and him actually sell that. Like that was, I thought, like, because he's come on, he doesn't sell his own shit very well.
No, that's not true. Brock is an underrated.
Brock,
seller.
yeah. Brock is a great seller when Brock wants to sell for somebody.
Well,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
He's been a very professional and he's been the greatest seller of all time.
When
Yeah,
he's invested,
yeah,
it's and you can tell when he's invested and when he's not. I also really liked that end of match, like little handshake, raising the hand and stuff, because that's very much not something he does.
yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. Say whatever you want about the match. The match was very cut and dry. Like there was a point to the
Yeah.
match. But it's a Brock Lesnar match. I don't know what people were expecting if you're gonna bitch about like how the match went. The only thing that keeps getting talked about the most uh was it just a no DQ match for 5 seconds and then that was it, or like and then
Nah, it's,
Cody just
I-
straight up hit him with the fucking stairs and then they like, but they were doing count out spots, so like,
He just ignored that
no,
part.
a lot of times the stairs don't
Don't
get
count,
counted as a
yeah.
weapon. Yeah, like it's like hit and miss when they actually decide to use the stairs as a weapon
So hey,
because
there's
someone,
this blue
someone could
goo
get
on their
dropped.
face.
Yeah, no, someone could get dropped on the stairs. They won't DQ it. But if someone
right.
actively lifts up the stairs and throws it at someone, like, oh, that's a DQ. How?
but that's what they
That's what
yeah.
they did. Yeah,
No, I
he
know, but
was
it's like
smacks-
it's you can say,
Well,
oh, it's
one-
ref discretion of what's a DQ and what's not.
One is I'm throwing you into the stairs just like you would throw them into the guardrail or throw them into the turnbuckle. The other one is actively
Picking up
hitting them
the-
Yeah,
with
no. But
this
I'm just saying,
heavy
it's
fucking thing.
it's
If you're gonna
ref-
like in wrestling logic, like that's how they justify that. But then it's like, oh hey,
No one said it was a perfect match.
yeah, no. It
no,
just
it's
I just laughed because I was like, wait. Because I was like, oh, he's gonna hit him with the stairs. They're gonna call for a DQ. Fuck, they're gonna do a fourth match. And then I went,
You gotta think
They
it
didn't-
ends from here, right? There's no way
They
they,
didn't-
do.
no,
no,
it-
absolutely.
Okay, because you would think the way it ended, where they do the handshake, and this has got to be it. I
This
was,
feud is
although-
as done as Brock shorts, bro. Like,
Oh,
it's-
God, man.
yeah.
God, I know that those shorts were made out of freaking bamboo paper, man. That's rip. I don't even know where they ripped. Like I watched that match and go, what did he do that ripped this?
it's like AJ Styles when his bottoms
yeah.
ripped. Like doing a 450 or something. They just split open.
But no, I liked the Kimura. I thought that was a neat little kind of, let him throw something on Brock that he throws on everybody. As far as botches go, they just gotta stop letting Charlotte do moonsaults. She
Oh,
never
to the
lands them
outside?
right.
The double moons. Well,
She
not
almost
double
no,
moonsault.
you can't tell
The
me she lands
moonsault-
that double moonsault because she almost knees
No, she
Asuka in the
she-
throat.
No, she needs Asuka in the stomach.
Yeah.
Which is
It's not the
great.
angle I saw. It looks like straight face. Okay,
But
it's
at
not-
No, it
least-
looks more like knee to the side because
But
Asuka
at
literally
least-
starts rolling.
At least she made contact.
yeah, not
Whereas,
the
like,
first one,
every
though.
time- Every time that she dives to the outside, she never makes
I
contact.
don't think she touched
always-
Bianca at all in that
At all.
outside
She
moonsault.
whiffs.
She didn't.
Bianca
whiffs
just
every
falls
time.
over. It's just-
And you
And,
think
like,
with,
She lands on her feet, and you're like, okay, so what did you do? You just like did a backflip to the outside, and then like you kind of threw your back into whoever's behind you, if
Yeah.
you even hit them, which she never does.
Never touched
So then it's like,
anyone.
oh, my shoulder brazed her. Now she's down for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, what the
And it's
fuck
not
is-
because she's bad. Like she's a great athlete. I just think she's too tall to be doing moonsaults. I think the
No,
way
it-
she does it,
ooh.
she lands before she makes contact.
yeah, it's weird. You would think because she's so tall, it would be more area to hit someone, but it's like you just land, you just do a press of backflip next to somebody.
Her backflip. It's a solid moonsault in performance. She just never lands it right. It seems like.
It's not Lita bad. I
Oh,
will
wow,
stand by
that's-
that. It's
wow,
not
low
Lita bad.
bar.
Who
I
is
mean-
also just as tall. Who is also just as tall.
Also, what happened with Lita? We had this whole thing where they brought her back, and then the Trish thing, and then like, did she get
Yeah.
She
injured?
was supposed to-
or...
No, I think she's doing the show.
Okay.
They're the little treasure hunt show they got on A&E.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
So I think she's all filming that.
Okay,
I think
well.
She was
the blow off is
also-
gonna happen.
Gotcha.
With
She was
Lita.
really rough to watch.
Okay.
You could tell that
don't-
she just wasn't.
Doesn't want to be
Like,
there.
she couldn't. She just couldn't go. Like everything was in slow motion. And again, like
oh,
I'm
no,
not.
I remember the triple threat match. We talked about
I'm
that
not.
one.
I'm not knocking her, but like, because listen, she was definitely a lot better years ago. But yeah, I don't know if just. I don't know how much like work they did before she came back, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like.
Yeah.
Well, even like, I
So-
mean, you watch the
so-
stuff with Batista, like, where he talks about how when he would come back, where he just couldn't do it. It's, you get to a certain age and you stop doing it for so long. It's definitely you don't use it, you lose it kind of
Right.
mentality.
Or you have something like The Rock, where every time he came back to face John Cena, he tore something every time. He
Yeah,
got
I mean,
injured right
yeah.
after it.
Well, even then, the wrestling she used to do and the wrestling they do now are very two different types of wrestling. Whereas the
Yeah.
wrestling back then was a little slower pace, where you had more time to set up, and you had, whereas now it's, here, there, here's a spot, there's a spot, go down, and it's you got to do this all in a 10-minute time frame. But
So it kind of just
we'll circle back to the Cody Rhodes thing because I haven't kind of wanted to talk about that. Is where do we go from here? What's the end game? Because I mean, do we go Seth? Or
actually he's already said in press conferences. I believe what was the show in Puerto Rico?
Backlash.
Backlash? Okay. It was either Backlash or the pay-per-view after it. When someone asked him, no, it was Money in the Bank because it was UK. Someone asked him, does winning the World Heavyweight Championship finish the story? And he said flat out, it doesn't. The finishing the story for him is the championship his father never got, which is technically the WWE Championship, which is now the undisputed stupid name because it's not undisputed if Seth is a champion, but Roman's title. That's the winning that title is finishing the story. So more than likely, we're building up to a repeat Royal Rumble win and him joining SmackDown.
You think so? You think back-to-back Rumbles?
Yes. It's either they're going to do another draft. They have to either do another draft and Cody goes to SmackDown.
It's true.
To face Roman.
Or
he wins the Royal
yeah.
and says, I'm challenging Roman. I don't care what brand he's on.
That's true.
That's the only two options.
The thing is, if that's what they're gonna what's the next pay-per-view?
Payback, yeah.
Okay. When's Royal Rumble take place? It's usually
January.
That's okay.
Yeah. So
you're talking we have 8 months for them to finish this Bloodline storyline that I still have no idea where they're going with. Well, I have an idea. I definitely think it's going to be a 4-way for the Tribal Chief match. I think that's what it's going to end on. You're going to have all 4 of them going for it.
I don't even think that.
You don't think so? You think that's how they're gonna?
I think what's gonna happen with the Bloodline is Jimmy and Jay are feuding. Not over. They're not. This is not part of the Bloodline thing. This is just Jimmy and Jay fighting it out.
Gotcha.
Then you have Solo, because I think the end game of this part is Solo turning on Roman.
Yeah.
And he gets a crack at him. At that point, Solo's done. Knocked him out. Knocked him down the peg. And keep moving. He probably does his own thing for a little bit. And Roman's by himself. It's just him and Heyman. Then he's just like, he's more unhinged because he doesn't have that security of the Usos or Solo running in. So he's just doing by any means necessary to win. And he's knocking down people.
Gotcha.
Just to get to that point where he will be the longest reigning WWE whatever champion. That he has until next year to beat that. I think he's 3rd.
Isn't he trying to go for 1,000? Has he already hit 1,000?
Yeah, he's already hit 1,000.
Okay.
Next would be Hulk Hogan.
I say it's Hulk. Yeah, would be 2nd. Who would be 1st?
No. Bruno is 2nd. Hulk is 1st. It's either Hulk or Bruno.
Man, you really think they're gonna God, I'd be hard pressed to make believe they would let him conquer Hulk.
They could potentially do Hulk. I don't think they're doing Bruno though, or whichever one's first. I don't think they're doing.
Let's see.
Because Bruno, Bruno's been a sacred one.
I think Bruno's the longest.
Bruno is 28,000. Buckland is 21. So he's 4th. Roman is 4th currently.
Okay. Because he just passed Pedro Morales.
Yeah, the Pedro Morales. They'll
Hulk
definitely
Hogan's
let him.
14.
Hogan
14 to 15.
Yeah.
So
but there's no way
1,474 days.
Yeah.
Because Bruno's kind of the golden child. Like, I have a hard time believing they'd let him.
They're not beating Bruno.
Pass Bruno.
No, I don't think anybody will ever pass Bruno. Because again, you have to keep in mind there was no weekly television. There was no they were wrestling big shows in really it was just
Gyms and Madison Square Garden.
But but they were only wrestling like once a month or every couple of months, or you
Yeah.
know, like because that's what the business was back then. There was no weekly television. This was still the territory days, and your champ was your champ for a long time, and like that was the guy that was selling this the tickets for these places, and that was Bruno for the
Yeah.
longest time. Um, so there's no way that you know that wouldn't have worked if they had weekly television. Same thing with Hogan. The fact that they're doing it with Roman and people are not thrilled with it.
Just proves the point of they couldn't have done it with anybody else
They
either.
couldn't have done it with anybody. And you could have said
Yeah.
like even at the height of Punk's popularity, like they should have kept it. That wasn't going to work either.
Yeah.
No matter who you threw at had that title for however long. It could be your all-time favorite, and they're the champ for 3 years straight, and you're like, fuck me, dude. Like when are we done with this? Now, it does help and hurt. It hurts the product when the champ is not there that much, but it also helps that he's not there to be there all the time.
They have to face a match and do.
And yeah, so like.
So they're
okay,
almost
great.
kind of doing a Hogan thing because he's not on TV.
Yeah.
It's
more like
the best thing
he's more
they
like
could have
Brock
done.
than anything.
Yeah.
He's become the new Brock Lesnar of holding the belt, doing a marquee match at the Big Four. Maybe you get the one off, and then he dips off for another 2 months. And it's like, because there has been a count of how many times have you seen the screen? Roman Reigns will return to SmackDown on this date.
Right.
Like the fact that he has to return is the problem.
This was also his first singles match since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
that's right. They did do 2 back-to-back tag matches. Yeah.
Yep.
Because they went for the tag titles, lost that, and then went for the Usos next.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think the Jay and Jimmy thing was a really weird. I think if anybody was going to dethrone him, if they were going to take him off, and I know that was probably never the plan. I would be okay with it being Jay.
Yep.
I think you could write that of the passing of the Chief if they were going to write him off. Because I just don't think he's going to be doing this like long term. I think once he gets past that record, I think you're going to start seeing I think you're going to start seeing him slip further and further away. Because I think Hollywood's calling. You'll start seeing another, The Rock kind of situation where, he's going to be gone longer and longer doing this, that, and the other. So Jay made sense.
The main thing about
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
To his point, the main thing is that Jimmy didn't do it to help Roman. Jimmy did it to hurt Jay, right? Like they had a little after the cameras went off, but they're still recording, so the cameras were still on. But after like the event went off air, he essentially said like, as soon as I got hurt, you took an opportunity to like, do whatever. He made it seem like he was doing it for himself, and he said something along the lines of like, "You're not going to be tribal chief before me," or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's brotherly. It's a brother thing. It's not a bloodline thing. It's more like, hey, Jimmy's always out. He's the one getting injured. Jay's the one. He's main event Jay. He was the one that had the whole thing with Sammy. It was always Jay in the spotlight. Jimmy was the afterthought of the bloodline. You had the enforcer, Solo. You had the tribal chief. You had the right-hand man. What was Jimmy? He was there. He was the other Uso.
He was Jannetty.
Yeah, so I made that joke already too. Yeah. Like, there's always the Jannetty.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would get frustrated. He got to a point where he was so frustrated, he just said, "Screw it."
I'm not saying I don't understand the turn. I get the turn. It's
actually,
more
you
the
might want to
time
have
frame is what I think is odd.
You might do Jimmy versus Roman. He beats Jay. Like he healed.
I don't think he beats Jay though. That's the thing.
No,
I don't think he beats Jay.
I think he beats Jay. Gets a title shot at Roman. He gets beat bad, and that's what turns Solo.
I guess you could. I still like
and
my idea of the 4-way for the tribal chief.
Then but you can still do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You could.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Solo's turned. Jimmy is doing his own thing. Jimmy and Jay are both doing their own thing. Then you have the 4-way.
But see, you could even add another
And it-
twist into that. Instead of Cody winning Rumble, he wins Money in the Bank.
But
That-
that would be after.
Is
That
that
would be-
after?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would take too
Oh,
long.
so he would have had it. Gotcha. See,
Yeah. It would already
they've
be a
changed
Royal
all the
Rumble
damn
win.
pay per views, and I done lost track of what pay per view comes before a win.
Yeah.
But if you had
It's
to push
always-
that again, you could almost do Cody gets Money in the Bank. They have a 4-way. Roman comes out victorious.
And then Cody
Cashes in.
Cody wouldn't do that though. For his
Ah,
character, it would make no
it
sense.
wouldn't, but it'd be an interesting.
Because he would be the type to win it and then announce when he's cashing in at a pay-per-view.
almost
he
like,
would-
like a Cena thing.
Yeah, because I think there was some people saying, "Oh, he's gonna win Money in the Bank," and then announce that he's cashing in for WrestleMania of next year. That was the speculation going into Money in the Bank. Then it turned out he was never in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know we kind of
So
touched on this earlier, but the Judgment Day, I think we kind of know where that's gonna go. I think that's pretty they're kind of making that super obvious, so we'll kind of go by that. My fucking note here, LA fucking Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What title do you think they're gonna push him for if they do?
U.S.
It
US?
has to be the US.
Yeah, because
They
he's on
can't-
SmackDown.
I go, well, yeah,
Yeah.
because I guess we were talking about. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to put him at with
Santos
Gunther.
Santos wins.
You think?
No, because the backstage thing is they want to push Latino talent as United States champion. So if you give Santos the title for a little bit, that you can have either LA Knight turn heel, which would be a dumb idea because he's a merch
Isn't he
seller.
already a heel though? Technically.
He's a.
I mean,
tweener.
the fans kind of turned.
Well, I
him.
mean, you can't do much about that. I mean, the character he's playing is supposed to be one, but I mean, if you
he was
I
supposed to
guess,
be a
yeah.
heel, but I put him in a tweener category
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
because he goes along with the crowd. So and tweener at best.
I'm still waiting for. I pray he brings the freaking button back, the dummy
The
button.
dummy, yeah.
Oh my god, please! I'm waiting for the day that comes back. Oh
But
god.
more than likely, either they turn the LWO heel, which could work because the group was initially heel in the first place. Without Ray, because he's injured, they can definitely pull a heel turn.
They can make that work too with it being like he injured him on purpose. kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's almost kind of how it seemed when that initially happened. Is that it was like a purposeful, get
No,
him out of the picture. But no, from what I had seen of it, then I went back and actually watched the segment. I go, oh, okay, this just looks like.
He
Is
basically
he
just hit the
legitimately
back.
injured, or is this
Yeah,
a kayfabe
I was-
injury?
That was an actual injury. He hit the
Gotcha.
back of when that dive happened. Ray kind of fell back a little too far and bounced the back of his head against the ramp.
Ooh,
And that I guess it knocked him for a loop and they just threw it
Yeah.
out because concussions are a thing and
Oh,
Ray
yeah,
is
no,
not the
especially-
youngest person.
yeah, especially nowadays.
So which is funny because they're gonna have him ringside for what was it, Dragon Lee and Dom's match
Gotcha.
Yeah.
on NXT.
I wonder how long they'll let him keep that title until they do a solo Sikoa on him.
Oh, he's probably gonna lose it to Dragon Lee.
Wouldn't
would
mind
make
that.
sense.
It would,
Yeah, just get that because it'll be too much of a hassle to have Judgment Day working all those
That's
All-
true.
all
Yeah.
of the show.
NXT. Because this night it just proves that can do more than just be chicken shit heel.
Gotcha.
Right.
'cause
and
his
he
match-
can
it-
lose.
That triple threat was
and-
okay.
Yeah. Like he
Uh,
can lose and nothing would happen. Like he would still
Yeah.
get booed for having a mic next to his mouth. Like it would still be the same, and he can just talk shit, which is what he's been doing. Like he's not going to lose any momentum by losing that title.
I think they just wanted to get the belt off Wesley and have him feud for the NXT championship as a heel.
With Carmelo. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. We're gonna run through, skip a few things here. So we're gonna switch gears outside of the world of wrestling, but kind of in the side of wrestling because there's no way this fight was actually real.
No.
The Jake Paul Diaz fight.
Feels like a fucking
That was a better fight than the Baszler and Ronda Rousey fight. They choreographed that better than they did.
That was definitely the better fake fight. Yes.
Like anybody that ever had a speculation that Jake Paul doesn't fake his fights, please watch that fight. There's no shot, for one, no shot Nate Diaz loses to this guy even in a boxing match. I've watched Nate Diaz take more knees to the face than is humanly possible and still beat the person. So no shot Jake Paul wins, but you boys gotta get a payout. I get it. Hey, you want to pay me $1 billion to get my ass kicked? Sure. So I watched a bit of it. I'm glad I wasn't one of these suckers that paid for the pay-per-view. I'd have been furious.
Yeah, no. I turned it on right after Summer. Like, I think I turned it on right as the Roman match was finishing just to see, oh man, how is this gonna go? Watch the first go around, like, this is just one of those fights.
But yeah, I just like Nate, and you can tell Nate Diaz doesn't give a shit. Like, he knows he faked this. He's just like, hey man, it is what it is, but I got paid. It's like, shit, bro.
No,
like,
Nate was putting him in headlocks multiple times.
Yeah.
There were multiple back of the head shots.
well, there was
like,
one time
this
he
match was-
actually kind of like lays
Guillotined
him.
Oh no, he put
and
him in a
and
headlock.
he has to pick him back up. It's like,
But that's
man.
happened before. Like, if you watched, what was it, Tyrone Woodley won?
Yeah.
There was a moment where Jake was damn near knocked out. Like, he fell into the ropes, and Tyrone just stood there. Like,
Yeah.
that's what did it
Finish
for me.
him.
There's the same thing with Mayweather. Mayweather was fucking.
No, that was Logan.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
Logan.
but I'm saying,
still,
but
yeah,
it was
the
the
same,
same
yeah.
thing because he
But
was
that was-
fucking
that was
cleaning his
definitely
clock,
disappointing.
and then he like picked him back up.
It's like,
I was
hey,
Oh no,
Here you go,
uh,
buddy.
Mayweather,
you're
no,
not
Mayweather
getting
actually
knocked out yet.
Logan. No, he was knocked out. There was a point where Logan was unconscious for like a split second,
Yeah.
and you can tell he falls on Mayweather's shoulder, and you can tell Mayweather's literally just holding him up by his shoulder.
Yeah,
and
what?
just
I think that's
lifting
what he
back
sounds
up.
like. Yeah, he just was like, hey, get up,
Like, not
get
yet.
up back,
yeah.
buddy.
You can't
Yeah,
get knocked out. It's not part of the contract.
I didn't want to touch on that a whole bunch. I feel like we couldn't have not mentioned that because
Yeah.
like
It's
this was a pretty big
it's
fight.
It's all show, right?
Yeah,
Like I can't stand either one of them, but you gotta hand it to them because they're getting people to fucking pay for this shit
sucker born
to
every
like
minute.
watch it. And then the thing is like then you have these like sports commentators going, yeah, I mean his footwork is really, and I'm like, no,
Shut
no,
up.
flat-footed.
The
He's
commentary-
flat-footed. He can't fucking like he's not an actual boxer, and he hasn't fought anybody
That
worth-
actually boxes.
Right. You're fighting a bunch of retired MMA guys in a non-MMA style like thing.
Endurance is completely different. Physicality is completely different. Like,
Well, that was the whole, if you listen to what McGregor said about the Mayweather fight, and it was like, the different gloves, the different, way of doing, like it was a completely different thing. You're taking a guy who's used to doing certain things, and then,
Like, it's
you
taking
have
an
to-
NFL player and putting him in rugby.
right.
Like, he's not gonna do it the same type.
Similar sport in a sense, but not the same.
we're taking
thing.
a
The
popular
instincts are
NBA
different.
basketball star and putting him in the Major League Baseball scene. That's just.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah. Jesus.
But yeah, I just
Like,
wanted to touch on that
yeah.
because there's no way I could have gone without making fun of that for a little bit. But we'll just kind of touch on summer movies because I know, like I said, we haven't seen a lot of what's come out here recently. Only one I can say for sure is Transformers. It got a lot of hate. I loved it. I thought it was great. But I'm a sucker for. They make these movies for me. I'm the clientele for these shit movies. And God, man, just the primals and all that stuff. It was fantastic. If you haven't watched it, it is on Paramount Plus right now. They have released it to streaming already, which is usually not a good sign. But
No.
I
No,
like.
like, look at the Flash.
I
Like, it's crazy that the
don't want
Flash came
to.
out. No, it's crazy that the Flash came out on digital before Across the Spider-Verse did. Because Across the Spider-Verse has like 2 more weeks before it comes out on digital.
Right.
That's true. And then we got the movies of the nation. We have Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. Yeah.
Bill Barbenheimer, aka White Women's.
I've heard
Black Panther.
Oppenheimer's really good. I don't know if I can do a Peter Jackson and sit in that movie theater for 3 hours watching that. So that'll definitely be a streaming at home movie.
I did
Um,
laugh. I wanted to touch on something with that. I
Yeah.
saw a criticism of that movie, and it was like, "There's no Japanese people in this movie," and I went,
how do you want that portrayed? By all
"Where
means.
did you want them to be?
At, at ground
He
zero.
wasn't there
Yeah.
when it
That cloud
dropped.
getting real
What?
big.
Yeah, like where? How did you want them to like shoehorn in that whole situation when it's supposed to take place like not from his point of view, but like he was like that was
Yeah.
the movie.
The movie's based around him, not the nuke. And I
Right.
think that's what people didn't understand is, oh, there wasn't enough of it. Well, yes, it's not about that. That's just part of his story.
Right.
Barbie, I've heard. I'm sure I eventually will watch Barbie, just for the pure fact that I like Margaret Robbie and I like what's the dude's name from Shang-Chi? I always forget his name. Do we know offhand? Am I the only one?
No.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Does I like him? He seemed funny in it.
I will watch
Sima-
it only for Issa Rae.
Simu Liu?
Yeah, I think you're close, Olas. Although here's what bothers me about it is I totally thought it was going to be a comedy, and it very much isn't, from what I've been told.
Oh, the Barbie movie's not.
Yeah, well, the way they market it, I'm like, oh, hey, this is kind of just like a fun little,
I don't know
Something
how much
about the
I
kids.
want to watch it now.
Yeah, I was like, well, I guess
That was my whole thing. Like I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go watch it because it's supposed to be like this stupid little thing or whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, fuck it. Like,
No, it's apparently
Yeah,
not
you
what
have
it
to
is, and it's not the shit like you get women empowerment movie. That's fine. I just wasn't what I was expecting the Barbie movie to be, but it seems like it's doing well, which good for them. Oppenheimer seems like it's doing well. I tell you what was super annoying. We wanted to see Oppenheimer, and this is not a joke. There was 32 showings for Barbie. There was 6 for Oppenheimer. Like, well,
And fill the theaters.
yeah,
Like multiple theaters, gotta fill it up.
yep.
oh, different
Uh,
audience too. You gotta be.
Yeah. I get a lot of people watch both just to be funny because like, oh, funny that these two movies are coming out side by side. So let's do costumes and stuff. Like
that's
Barbie was the more marketable movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
best-
And that's why it made sense that they had way more showings than Oppenheimer, of course.
Best meme I saw about that Oppenheimer though was a T-shirt somebody had made, and I just scrolling through Twitter happened to see this, and it was a T-shirt. And Porto, you've seen this as well because one of our fellows shared it. Was her head so bomb, call her Sloppenheimer. Great, love it. Just God, I love the internet sometimes. Like it's just made my day. It's so stupid, but god damn if I didn't order that T-shirt. Yeah, and then kind of, which this won't be big for everybody, but I enjoy the movie and I thought it was pretty cool. They announced Equalizer 3, which seems interesting, although I'm curious
Kinda cool with
because the second one seemed like it was the hey, we're done with this.
Yeah,
but sometimes you need a paycheck, so I'm all about it. I'll go see it. I'm a Denzel fan, so I'm all about it. But it was really under the radar. I just happened to be like watching something on YouTube of all things, and it popped up that they were doing that, and so I think it comes out like sometime in September or October, so pretty soon, which was weird. Yeah. So as far as movies go, I feel like that's it's basically been Barbenheimer, and then Transformers was kind of in there for a few
That's
weeks.
been the whole summer.
Yeah. As far as games go, I think the 2 biggest releases coming out is going to be Starfield and Mortal Kombat. I don't really know of anything else big wise. I'm sure there's indie stuff that's coming out that I don't know, but I don't have time to look through all that.
Spider-Man 2.
When's that drop?
October.
Is it? Okay. So I gotta steal a PS5 by October. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Hey, they're dry. I wasn't going to, but now that because they're making that, they're doing the Wolverine game, they're doing a Black Panther, Captain America, World War II game that I'm sure
there's another Black Panther game.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, shit. I guess I'll go ahead and do it.
I have the least amount of faith for the Black Panther game
Well,
because it's Activision. No, because it's Activision.
Oh, yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, no.
Starfield, I'm fingers crossed, but considering how Redfall was when that dropped,
Yikes. People bitching about how great Baldur's Gate 3 is. Like, oh, they're ruining
if I
it.
have to hear about that game one more time, I'm gonna cut off a testicle. Because I don't care.
Man,
It's cool. You D&D nerds got a game. Cool. Like,
yeah, no.
I'm cool with the
I had to deal
concept.
with that too.
I don't care. Like, I think the thing that makes me laugh is the people that were bitching about Final Fantasy not being the Final Fantasy 16 not being turn based like it used to be for however many installments before they got away from turn based, and then bitching about a turn based game, and then you have the people that are, because it's the internet, so you can only have one opinion or the other, and you can't be like
Yeah.
anywhere in between.
God forbid.
And it's like, well, I don't mind turn-based combat things, but I'm also okay with, the action RPG aspect that they're going with for the newer Final Fantasy games. I'm not a D&D guy. I have thought about getting into it in the past. Everybody I've talked to, aside from you guys, is into it. And
Yeah, I'd say the vast majority of the individuals we hang out with are all in some kind of D&D thing.
right. And that's not like even just like not even just the people on Discord, but like the people I have associated with in life, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have a D&D game. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "No." I appreciate it. Maybe one day
Just
I'll
say some
explore
virginity
that,
for the rest of
but
us. You know?
yeah. But it's just I think it's cool that they have a concept like that. I didn't know that that's what it was because I had never played the first two games, and then I saw a clip of it, and it was a meme of the game.
Yeah.
At the end result was he kicked a squirrel or some shit.
So you sent me that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it did. Okay. But I was like, oh, he rolled a d20. Oh, there's like D&D aspects of this game. Oh, okay, that's kind of interesting.
See, I have a hard time enough playing games where I choose my own luck, let alone having the game choose it for me. Like it's just
but no,
God, Phil go kick the shit out of that squirrel though. Just through the
I don't know what the context is, and at this point, I don't care. Like it's just okay. He rolled a d20 and like punted the fuck out of the squirrel,
bro. That squirrel didn't know what hit him.
And I was like, okay. But apparently you can like talk to animals, so I don't know if he just missed that perk to like talk to the squirrel before.
There's another thing apparently you can do to animals that Juggy has talked about for about a week and a half now. Is that you can apparently
I think I heard about that too. Yeah, I was gonna say I think I heard about that.
And the
too,
bear isn't a euphemism this time. It actually is
a
bear.
Yeah.
The Mortal Kombat, I'm excited for that. I'll be getting that day one. Because I'm a fanboy. What I go for.
Will you get the DLC?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm gonna get whatever edition gives me all the characters. Although I thought it was interesting they put Omni-Man and Homelander in the same DLC inherently because they are the same character.
I don't think is it all just the first pack? Oh, it is the first pack.
Yeah,
that's just their first pack. It's just blowing their load of guest characters.
Because it makes me wonder who's gonna be in the next 4. I'm assuming there's 4 because it's usually the number they go with.
Thinking about it,
because there's gonna be a horror movie one. The second pack's gonna have a horror movie character. I swear to God, out of all the ones you could do, please don't let it be that one.
If there's a Chucky character, because how would that work?
Yeah,
it wouldn't work. That would be fun. It would be off the walls funny because Chucky. But
the only thing I've seen of it that I'm not crazy about is the cameo characters. So I don't know how much of you all have seen of this, but basically, so you pick your fighter and then you pick a cameo character, which is kind of like a Tekken style where it's your partner that can also assist with combos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just wish they would just add the characters into the game. That's all I want. Just give me Cyrax and Sector and give me, Jax and Sonya and just
so they're not in the game. They're just like
like they're just backup characters you can use.
Because I would wish more fighting games like I don't know if y'all know about these games. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, 4
God,
specifically,
giant
and Dragon And Dragon Ball Fighters, where you
Yeah.
can switch out your fighter.
Yeah.
I wish Mortal Kombat would do more like that.
I'll see, because I always love Tekken. Like Tekken
So,
Tag,
like
I
a
always like that version because you could swap them
Capcom
out.
versus Marvel. Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, they need to make another one and try again with that. So I cannot let that
Oh, the
end on
roster would be
Infinite.
fun.
But yeah, so that'll look good. Slider news. I'm calling it now. Within the next month, you're gonna see a Modern Warfare 3 announcement.
Destiny 2 has a new announcement for the
Nobody
final
gives a
shape.
shit about it.
I know. Oh no, the Destiny fandom is
That
slowly
Destiny
dying.
fandom turned on them so damn hard. Like,
My
Without
buddy who has sunk like thousands of hours into that game has just completely moved away. I was shocked because that's like all he plays for the longest time, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing Diablo now," and then like something else, and I was like, "Oh."
yeah, no,
I didn't know you knew
I've
what
heard
other games
Diablo,
were. Like,
Diablo
that's-
stole a lot of the Destiny clientele from what I heard.
That's what it seems like.
No, and I feel bad because my friend Sprig like bought me this entire freaking year's worth of content and all that stuff. It's like, well, nobody plays the damn game no more. Like shit.
I saw a meme because I laugh because it's like, oh, Destiny free to play, but if you want all the packs of everything, it's like $415 or some shit
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah.
and it's
No.
also very scummy with this monetization because let's see, you can't use real money to buy certain things. You have to purchase silver.
Yeah.
I think their seasons cost like $8 or something. Like it was
Something
like
along
11.
that lines.
No,
yeah.
it's $11, and the only way to buy it is spending $15 through their currency.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, 11.
exactly.
What kind of
It's-
weird like euros to dollars fucking?
No, it
thing?
was
I mean,
like
that's
it was
World
like
of
$10.
Warcraft, like currency right there. That's what that is.
But no, it's like they just want you to spend the extra $5 so you can buy the $10 pack of silver, and then you have to buy the $5 pack of silver so
Yeah.
you can get the season pass.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So I still
you're
say
being
Fortnite has the
scummy.
best monetization because they give you a good amount of prices in between each that you can.
No, just let me use my card to pay
That too,
directly.
yeah, or just
Don't
let me,
use-
yeah.
Don't use
I don't want
another
your.
currency.
I don't want your freaking coins. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because currently, right now, Call of Duty is doing an event that I think is directly related to the third one. So I wouldn't be
You
surprised.
play as Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty.
Thank God. Yeah, don't I as the Call of Duty guy, I don't even want to get into that. That's just not.
Yeah, you can just play a squad of Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and Travis Scott. Apparently,
God forbid we fix the game.
That would be silly. You stop it with your logic.
All right. Well, then we will switch over, kind of getting towards the end of all this, to our gaming news. So I've picked, like I said, I picked some fun articles that I just came across that I thought we could discuss. The first one being, to me, is the best one, and this is from NBC because they're all about it. Online games struggle to rein in hateful usernames, claims reports from Anti-Defamation League. So basically, unbeknownst to the gaming world, gamers are kind of racist, and a few other things. So apparently, this group did a study, and they found that I guess in the past that gaming has been used for like terrorism and stuff like that, apparently. And so they did a study on, I think it was, let's see here, 5 games, and man, they really picked the cream of the crop when it comes to the most racial people you could pick in video games.
crap game.
So they picked League of Legends, PUBG,
Okay.
Fortnite, Overwatch 2, and Call of Duty. Like, no wonder your study was, high.
I feel like the least toxic one is actually Overwatch.
No, oh God, no.
No, actually Fortnite.
Yeah, that
it's
one I
more
would
kids.
say, yeah.
Probably
It's more
Fortnite.
kids.
But they have 3 first-person shooter games.
Yeah, and then League of Legends.
League of Legends.
No, well,
and-
Fortnite isn't first-person shooter.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
You have Overwatch and Call of Duty as your FPS.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Then you have PUBG,
It's the
Fortnite
Battle
as
Royale.
Battle Royales,
And
and
then
then you
you
have
have
League of
the-
Legends.
the
But you
MOBA.
could mix. You could even say that. Because Call of Duty has the battle royale.
Yeah,
stuff,
I mean, it
too.
kind of
Yeah, but I'm just
They have
saying-
3 battle royal games, and then it's
But Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It will.
Call of Duty.
It's
is
been
its own
forever.
disaster of
Yeah.
whatever it is.
But
yeah.
it's forever been like it's connotated with races.
I just thought it
for
was
a
funny that like the top 5 ones, like it's all ones that you would have expected to be the most racial, and because they go on to talk about, you know, the companies need to do better to monitor, which I think the companies do. I mean, people are gonna find a way, because they talk about they're finding more intricate ways to be racist and homophobic and all that stuff about how they type stuff in.
Yeah, just ones and threes.
You know what? I'm surprised though. The game that isn't on this top 5 list is Siege.
Oh, I was thinking more like Grand Theft Auto.
No, but you know what?
Yeah,
I
I was
actually
thinking
don't
Grand Theft
experience a
Auto,
lot
too.
with Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
I mean,
remember?
yeah.
No. Remember that one stream that got
Oh well,
shit
yeah.
canned because
there
of
was
that one guy?
It
Yeah.
only happened once. I mean, you know.
Okay, I'm just saying, prominent
To,
name.
to you.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. That's fair. But yeah, Siege I definitely thought would have been up there, you know, as
Siege is toxic, but not in the same
Actually, CS:GO would actually be
to
worse.
the same level.
yeah, it's another one that I'm surprised isn't on here, is CS:GO.
But I guess they wanted games that most people would know, like
like very mainstream.
yeah, off the top of their heads, they've heard like you're targeting parents who don't know better about games, and there's something that their child has probably said.
They picked very popular games. Although I guess you could argue PUBG is probably the least popular.
at least
Yeah.
nowadays.
Everything that was because Fortnite took that whole thing and ran with it. You know, did their thing differently. And
A zombie defense game, well, tower defense game.
yeah,
So it looks like and just kind of reading through like the end of this. It says the researchers tested the registering various offensive usernames from each of the 5 categories: anti-Semitism, misogyny, racism, anti-LGBT, ableism, and white supremacy. What is ableism? I'm stupid. Sorry.
Handicap.
Handicap.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. And oddly enough, Overwatch 2 had the least offensive usernames,
that doesn't surprise me.
whereas Call of Duty was mid, and it looks like League of Legends was the worst.
Yeah.
Also not that
fuck,
surprising.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
doesn't
but I
surprise
thought that was a little
A
funny.
bunch of people who don't bathe are being racist.
I got them.
me.
And then transitioning on to companies doing really wild things. Nintendo last Tuesday announced that they will be dropping a new version of the Switch on October 8th for says it's retailing for yeah, exactly. It's retailing for $349, and it's a newer model that has a larger and more colorful screen.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So
It's a step up from the LED.
I guess
one.
so.
They-
It's their pro. It's the
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
the
that's
I thought,
kind
that's
of
what the,
Switch
I
Pro.
thought that's what the last one was.
improved speakers,
no.
twice the storage,
You can plug up a Ethernet cable to it now.
new kickstand.
Jeez.
That kickstand really worth that extra $100.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, Nintendo's the new Apple. They keep removing
gonna say
features
that-
from their consoles and then
Yeah.
add them back in and charge you for it.
So it
Yeah.
also looks like it's getting the OLED screen. So it seems
Yeah.
like it's just a better version of the OLED somehow.
Yes,
I don't know.
It
I would
reminds
compare
me
it to like the
of-
PS4. Because you had the original version, then the skinnier version, and then you have
then
the
the
PS4 Pro. Like that.
Wouldn't surprise
It,
me. Now,
it's the
given
same thing.
and given all these articles are with it, you know, they could be full of crap. It's stuff that caught my eye as I was going through.
But if you've ever seen the Onion movie,
Yeah.
where like the guy buys a computer at the store, and then he gets home and he sees an ad for like the newer computer as soon as he gets home and sets up the other one, so he returns it, buys the newer version of the computer, is in the car, here's an ad for the newer computer, turns back around, returns it,
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
buys
pretty
the,
fair.
buys the
actually, yeah.
upgraded computer, and as he's leaving the store, they change the signs for the newer computer, so he turns back around. It's like the same
Like-
thing now.
Because what PS5's already talking about another new model of the PS5.
PS5 Slim. Or
I
It's
don't
like
think-
get me the first one first. Like
No,
let's
no,
get.
no. I think that one is more like people just spreading a rumor because it's
Gotcha.
been like that since it originally started. Like the first couple months. Oh, there's a PS Slim that's
yeah, they
gonna
were
come
like
out later this
3
year.
months in.
and
They were
it's
talking about it.
a PS Slim. Then there's a PS5 Pro, and then there's like the X. Yeah. But with new consoles, thing
I
with Microsoft has been a lot of developers are having trouble making games for the Xbox Series S because it's such a downgrade from the Series X.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like, cool, we can't really make the games we want.
You hear that, buddy? You're a problem. I have it sitting in a
like-
box. I haven't even opened it.
Oh, like you're paying your dog? Is the dog named the Series S?
No, I literally.
He's waiting to return it for when they make the new one. He's just gonna.
No,
Yeah,
be
the
there you
Series
go.
listen,
S. Oh,
I I bought it for $150.
oh Jesus! I was about to say something that's fucked up.
Please do.
Oh.
I mean,
No, I was about to say what's next? The Series SS, and like, oh, that's a
Oh my
fucking
lord!
trying to profit that one, so.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I know I'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm saying we're fine. we're not the ones that.
Speak for yourselves.
I have the well. That's why I said I know I'll be okay. I got the
Yeah.
blue eyes. I mean, anyway.
This is gonna
No
be
hair's the same as blonde hair.
Well, I can argue and say this is just a light blonde.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
My hair, when I had hair, it was blonde. So
That's-
But yeah, nah. Because I think that's why certain games are coming out later on the Xbox than the PlayStation. I think Baldur's Gate is one of those games.
it's not out for the PlayStation yet.
No,
either.
but it'll be out for.
oh,
when it
so
comes
it'll be
for
out
PlayStation,
For, okay.
and then there's another set of time before it comes out on the Xbox because
It's
they're
weird
trying
that
to
they
make it
did
for the
that
Series
too,
S.
though. That they came out. It came out on Steam, and now they're doing pre-orders for it for the PlayStation. And I guess they'll do pre-orders in a little bit for the Xbox.
Yeah, I guess it would have. It would have. The Series S didn't exist. It would have probably been same day for both.
Yeah.
But since they have to go back and make it for the S, it takes more time. So there's no point of releasing it. I don't think they have a way to release it on just the X.
I
Gotcha.
mean, yeah.
Because I don't think that's been heard of releasing. Because they're both new gen games. I mean, new gen consoles.
Can
So it's
I
no
ask
way.
an honest question?
Go ahead.
Is there really a point to getting the Xbox if you have a decent PC?
Not really.
No, because
No.
everything that's on Xbox you can get on PC. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why if I get anything next, it'll be a PS5, just because
That's
everything else I have on Xbox, I can just play on my computer.
like my buddy is a diehard Xbox guy. Wasn't a PlayStation guy. Ended up his girlfriend surprised him and got him the Series X, and he ended up swapping it for a PS5 because he was like, "Well, I have the PC. I can get everything." Because I was in the same boat where I was like, I like Xbox. I'll get an Xbox.
Yeah.
I bought that one, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Turn it into
I-
a PC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bought it
Just take
because
the
it
parts
was
up.
I bought it because it was half off at Walmart, and I was like, fuck. I said, if you got two of them, I'll buy them right now, and I was gonna fucking sell them.
Yeah.
But
You
like,
fucking scalper.
yeah, whatever. I don't care. I was gonna probably sell it to like friends for a discount, but I'm like, why am I even gonna use this if my PC I can get literally everything that I can think of at least, and maybe there's an exclusive somewhere, but I don't. There isn't, right?
No,
There's
not that I know of. No, everything that's, I mean, anything that's Xbox exclusive now pretty much comes out on Game Pass day one.
Yeah,
it's
right,
and
available on
come out.
both.
It will come out on PC.
And you can get the Game Pass on PC anyway.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. So once they did that, I was like, well, what the hell's the point? Like PS5
They really
is
shot
definitely the-
themselves.
Yeah, like
They shot themselves in the foot. And
it's
it's always been like that since they tried to market the Xbox One as this like
Home
'cause it wasn't supposed
console.
to be exactly. They've really just slacked on it being a game console and then shot themselves further in the foot by saying, "We'll just release all our games on PC."
right.
It's kind of funny because the Xbox did the opposite Sony did, where Sony did the PS2 as kind of the all-in-one home theater. It was the DVD player, it was the CD player, it was the video game. and then it turned into just the gaming console. Now Xbox is kind of going that direction of, hey, you know, you can do your TV, you can watch movies, you can, you know, it tells you time, it does, you know, it cooks you dinner, and it's like, fuck, you know,
No one cares.
no one wants that. No one cares, you
Yeah.
know.
Because the people who buy the new Xbox are buying it because they want to play games,
Yeah.
not because they want a surround system.
Right.
Like,
I didn't care about the Connect. Like that wasn't.
No one
what I-
did.
no.
Right.
They saw the
Uh,
Wii doing well, say we can do that. It's like
yeah.
that wasn't a most
Like,
people on Xbox don't.
I
aren't
bought a
doing that.
360 because at the time I was like 19 and I had like no responsibilities in terms of like a lot of bills, and I had some fuck you money, and I was like, I'm buying a console, and they were sold out of PS3s, so I bought a 360.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened, and I got like one of the first Elite ones. And don't get me wrong, I love the 360, but I eventually got a PS3, and PlayStation exclusives and like single players are more my speed anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what is that? Like, there is some stuff that I like playing online, but that's again what I have the PC for. What the fuck am I getting? You know, a $400 thing
Paperweight.
that does yeah. I'm like, ooh. I could spend the same amount of money on like upgraded parts if
Yeah.
like if my graphics card is not strong enough to handle.
And the thing is, they last longer. Instead of having to buy a new console every 3 years, your graphics card will last you probably a good 5 or 6, depending on what you get.
Yeah.
And I can replace it if
Yeah.
need be. I don't have to buy a whole new PC every couple of years when the new PC. There's not PC 3. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, oh yeah, I just bought this one. Can't wait till the PC 4 comes out. Like, that's not how it works. It's all the innards of it that you have to worry about.
No, I mean, I think, yeah, once the PC market got to a point where it made sense and, you know, it worked properly, it doesn't make sense to continue on with Xboxes, which is a shame because like I said, I'm a big Xbox fanboy. I did the traditional where it was the N64 to the PS2 to the Xbox 360, and then I went to Xbox One, and I kind of wish I just went to PS4 instead because, you know, Xbox One didn't really drop anything that I gave a shit about.
Nope.
Yeah.
Um,
The original Xbox was
yeah,
cool too, though.
yeah,
Master Chief Collection was okay.
it was okay. I mean, then that's why I got 360s because I was super into Halo 3, and you know that eventually led to somewhat of a financial source for a little bit. And God, would I wish if I go back and do that again. But yeah, I mean, it's PS5 is probably gonna be my next thing. So,
Well, they're definitely more readily available than they used to be.
yeah.
I
finally saw one in a
I had to
Walmart for
fight
the
for
first
one.
time.
I had to get on one of those waiting lists, and my buddy helped me get it. He technically bought it, and then I paid
remember that,
him
yeah.
after the fact. Yeah, like it was this whole thing. We were going for the same time. He texted me and was like, "Did you get it?" And I went, "No." And he showed me a screenshot. He's like, "I got it." I was like, "All right, I'll send you the money now." He goes, and he's a cool dude, so he's like, "No, wait till I get it. Like I physically have it before you just hand me money." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, okay, yeah, I'm not used to that kind of kindness, but I'll take it." Like.
Yeah.
And then we did like the drug deal in the parking lot. Like, you know, I handed him the money and he handed me the PS5, and then I like protected the fuck
Like a
out of
drug
it. I was
deal?
like in the middle. Yeah, I was in the middle of Walmart, and I was like, I don't want nobody to see that I have this thing in my hand. Like, I gotta go like hide this somewhere.
All right, well, it looks like we were about at time, so I figured the best way to end this is we'll circle back to wrestling for a second to end this. Who do you want pushed right now? Give me one guy you want pushed right now that you think needs it. Whoever wants to go first, I don't care.
Olas, you got that one.
Who do I want pushed right now? You mean like as opposed to somebody not being pushed? That I want
Yeah,
to see
just
pushed
like
right
somebody
now?
that's being pushed right, like you'd rather see pushed. You don't have to specify who you'd rather, you know, who you don't want to see, just who you
Yeah,
think
like,
needs
fuck
one.
this guy. No. I would like to see either Ciampa or Nakamura get a little bit more momentum. I think the other guys that are currently like in the spots that they're in are doing well, and I don't really have too many like arguments with how they're doing other things in terms of that. So I'm okay. Like if those two guys were like one of those two guys were to get like a better spot, I'd be cool with that.
Okay. Does it matter what company?
No, go for it. Yeah, it could be AEW.
Alright.
It could be.
All right, so gotta go with AEW with this one because
Okay.
they have a expansive roster that doesn't get pushed enough. Powerhouse Hobbs is the main guy I think of that could be utilized way better. He was TNT champion for about a hot week, and then
Yep.
immediately lost the belt to Wardlow, who lost the belt again after. So
Who hasn't
hopefully
been on
they,
TV for like a while now?
yeah. But yeah, hopefully they can actually push him. They did this whole QTV thing. They're dropping that. As long as Powerhouse Hobb can just go back to just murdering people, I'm fine with that. Make him challenge for the real world championship. Maybe give him some net all in.
Um. Well, you know.
Yeah.
We gotta go LA Knight, you know. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm on this train to the end, guys. You know, and anybody that's not in it,
Dummy. Yeah.
Get out the way.
The reason I didn't say him though is because I do feel like they are.
yeah, they're going to. I just
They're
stand
not
by
pushing
it.
him in the traditional sense, but like he gets to go out and just talk to the crowd for no reason. Or
Yeah,
he
they
did
just
that
throw him
thing
out
with-
there. Here's a
he
mic.
did that thing with Hit Row that wasn't on live,
Jesus, I
but
need
then
that.
the YouTube video like blew the fuck up. I think
Yeah.
it had like
Yeah.
almost 2 million views within like a couple of hours or some crazy shit like that. And he
I
was
need Hit
beating up
Row
a team that
gone.
is like, yeah, he was beating up on a team that like nobody gave a shit about because the best guy of that team is in AEW.
Yeah, the
So-
only guy that mattered in that group.
Right, like
Yeah.
the person that made the group useful and like wanted to watch that group was because of Swerve, who's not
Even there.
in the company. So
Like, what was the point?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that ends tonight's podcast. As always, cream of the crop, never gonna stop. Catch you guys in the next one.